Hi friends, it's that time of the season where I do a complete recap of the season 13 comic quest series, so you get to know exactly what's been going on in the lore of Apex Legends season 13. I'm going to summarize it all nicely for you so you know what's been happening without having to read hours and hours of comics. Let me start by giving you the background. This comic begins at the start of season 13 when Newcastle has just joined the games. Remember, Bangalore only just noticed her brother Jackson is really Newcastle during the launch of season 13. Just a reminder, she thought he'd been dead for something like 13 years, and she was even about to leave the Outlands and head back to Gridiron with Revenant. So we jump into the comic with Bangalore and Jackson / Newcastle having words. You see, Bangalore doesn't understand why Jackson just didn't contact her and let her believe he was dead. It just doesn't make any sense to her. Of course, Jackson is more focused on moving on, so he's trying to avoid those questions. At the same time, Mirage and Wraith have noticed something is up between Bangalore and Newcastle, and they're trying to work out what's going on. At this point, no one apart from Bangalore knows Jackson is Newcastle. Therefore, Wraith and Mirage decide to do some digging on Harris Valley, because that's where Newcastle's from. And they find out from someone at Mirage's bar that Harris Valley is full of ex-IMC mercenaries who punish deserters. Oh yeah, and they go by the name the Forgotten Families. Now this makes Wraith and Mirage think that Newcastle is part of the Forgotten Families, and is in fact setting up Bangalore because she's a deserter. So they follow Newcastle to a warehouse. Remember, Newcastle made a deal with the Forgotten Families to give them a cut of his winnings in the Apex games, and in return the Forgotten Families will leave Harris Valley alone, and I guess in a way it's kind of like he's trying to buy Harris Valley off them. During this kind of stakeout mission, they do quite a clever perspective switch, because they first show Mirage and Wraith spying on Newcastle in this warehouse, and then they switch to Bangalore's version of events, because Bangalore also tracks Newcastle to the very same warehouse. It ends up in Newcastle leaving the warehouse after giving the Forgotten Families a bunch of money, leaving Bangalore, Wraith and Mirage to get spotted by the mercenaries in the warehouse. Not on purpose, of course. Newcastle has no idea that this is going on. Ultimately, this results in a big fight, through which Wraith, Mirage and Bangalore team up to fight off these mercenaries. During the fight, Wraith runs into someone that recognizes her, except she doesn't know who that person is, obviously because Wraith lost her memories. Anyway, the fighting goes on, and of course the Legends win it, or at least escape relatively unharmed. There is a bit of a war of words between Wraith and Bangalore, but in the end they make up and become friends again. After the fighting, they go to a street party, kind of like a celebration for Newcastle's victory in Harris Valley. There, Bangalore sees Jackson with his family. Oh yeah, up to this point, she didn't realise Jackson had kids and a family. But when she does realise it upon seeing them, she realises if she goes up to him and reveals who he is, she will ruin Jackson's family. So she does the hard but noble thing and walks away. It's a sad moment that kind of reminds me about the last scene in Spider-Man No Way Home. But wait, there's more to this comic. You see, it ends on a cliffhanger setting up more lore, because Wraith still has a story here. Remember that person she bumped into who recognized her, but she didn't know who that person was? Well, Mirage did some digging, being the good boyfriend that he is. Oh wait, that's not a thing yet. Correction, Mirage did some digging, being the good friend that he is, and retrieved some files on the person that recognized Wraith. It turns out this person worked on the experiments on Wraith. Within the files, most of it is redacted though. However, one thing is clear, it shows project leader Renee Blasey. Of course, that's Wraith's real name, but up to this point, Wraith doesn't know she was the leader of the project that she ended up being experimented on in. So there's definitely more to come from this story as Wraith learns more about what really happened to her. I hope this recap was useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep a lookout for my channel for more lore and season 14 content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.